There's someone who got into the room and song 1, they went prostrate down till the last song.
Nice.
And that shows me encounter. That shows me relationship. And that's why we do these things. Whatever you do, no matter how small it may look, do it right.
Yeah.
There's a misconception on humble beginnings that the humble beginnings have to be very humble for you to have a testimony. Scripture tells us that out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Yeah. And whatever you feed the most grows most. Yeah. Whoever tells you that Christianity is boring, salvation is boring, they need to re-examine themselves. They must be the boring ones. There's a principle borrowed from the Chinese. Chinese will take 8 hours planning and take only 1 hour executing it. With the same gear that you have, what's the best that you can do? Can you prioritize the client to the point that a client after a job feels like you did way more than they paid for? God is an excellent God. So what does that make me?
I need to be excellent.
I need to be excellent in all my dealings. Yeah. Otherwise, the apple doesn't fall
far from the tree. Each and every day I will seek your face. My soul is crying out for more. I want more of you. I won't be satisfied nor content where I am. So I will apprehend till I'm captured by what I'm after. And I will go from faith to faith, from glory to glory, and I will go from faith to faith, from glory to glory, and I'll forever be chasing after you. I'll be chasing after you. I'll forever be chasing after you. I'll be chasing after you. Nice one. Welcome to another episode of Hedgehog Unplugged Podcast. Every time I have a conversation with the guest we have today, I am left challenged sana, and I'm excited that we're able to have this conversation with a camera on and people will be able to listen to us. Karibu sana, Manu Baldman.
Sante.
In the community I'm in, we call you Papa Manu. But here, we will be, whatever comes, the spirit will lead.
Yeah. Baldman's fine.
Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you. Thanks for having me. Usually not behind in front of a camera and cameras.
Always behind the scenes.
Yes. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here. Great things you're doing.
Thank you. How have you been?
I've been well.
Kazi kwaje tumekutafuta yani. We have planned for this for this episode for a minute.
Yeah, sure. We've been planning, then things come up, traveling here and there, kidogo, kazi. But I'm glad that we've been able to make time today to have this conversation. Yeah, really looking forward.
Nice,
Yes.
nice. Tuanze from the beginning. Did you know you'll be where you are now? And where did it start? Me, at first, I met you as a worship leader at that time, but I think you are doing both. You're doing sound and serving. So Tuanze from where have you grown up? How did you fall in love with music? Twende.
Interesting question. Question because my parents are pastors.
PK.
So yes, so I grew up in church my entire life, and my father was in a band. He used to play the sax and maracas, percussions. So that's how the passion for music.
So he was a pastor
began.
And he was
So now before he became a pastor, he was a musician, and then a church leader, then into a pastor. But now the band instruments used to stay at home. So that's how I got the interest into music and into engineering, sound, and all that. Because now the instruments were at home.
Yeah, so you have them.
Yeah. So I actually started as a drummer.
Nice.
Yes. And I would take my mom's kasukus, masahanis, and just arrange them there on the ground and hit those things. So I started with plates. I was playing plates, broke enough of them. I graduated to the kasuku tins. I graduated to the kasuku tins and played those, broke them. I also graduated from there into mkebe za makaa, charcoal tins. Yeah, so you would time
ilikuwa warm sasa hivi.
Yeah, sasa the tone inaenda ikichange. So
did you know that time? Ama sasa ni experimenting, ni working on your ear?
Working on my ear, like I could funny enough, I could hear songs and beats in church and then come and duplicate them kwa kasuku na tins. Because I couldn't play like a full beat on drums and all that, but I can hear those patterns and sounds, so I would come and play them on tins. I was mischievous. We even pulled a concert for kids when we were young. So
in church?
No, at home in the estate. So we just panga the tins there, and then kids from the estate come and then they sing songs and we do a concert there, and it's just vibes.
Where's this?
This is Jerusalem in Eastlands, because I grew up in I grew up in Salem. We moved from Salem to Kimathi to now where my parents have built.
Nice, interesting. Yeah. So that's when you're introduced to music. You're introduced to music in church.
Yes. Introduced to music in church. My dad's band would do rumba type of music. So those I grew up listening to those. Then we moved churches. Because in the place where my dad was going church, it was far in South B. But now near home there was Kenya Assemblies of God Bahati.
KAG.
Yes, and KAG, one of the things that I thank God for KAG was it was a hub for young people to come, and the freedom. The pastor there then believed in the youth exercising their gifts. So the platform was there for people to do music, arts, creatives. The creatives were really thriving there.
I grew up in ACJRI.
Yeah.
So I used to hear about KAG.
We would come and do cantatas and all that. So KAG is the first place I knew I could lead worship. Yeah, because now I started out as a drummer. I would play the drums. I would come do cantatas there. Then there was a band that I was in, and we happened to be two drummers. But going home because I would walk from church to home to church. I would usually, because it's a long stretch, I would keep myself busy by singing songs and playing beats in my head. So I would sing the songs that
Have you started playing the guitar at that time?
No, this is how I started now playing guitar.
Okay.
So I would sing songs in my head, and I would find myself, instead of humming drum beats, yet I was a drummer, I would do guitar lines with my with my mom. I'll just go do guitar lines. Then I realized, hey, wait a minute, maybe I like this thing. I should learn it. And at that time, the band that I was in, we happened to be 2 drummers. So just that we all get something to do, I decided, let me also learn the guitar. So nice. When I started learning the guitar, I actually carried the guitar more than I carried my school bag. I carried the guitar more than I carried my high school bag. So
where were you in high school at this time?
I mean, from 2.
Which school?
Aquinas High School, yeah.
Wow.
Just near here.
Yeah.
So I would carry the guitar every day with me and all that. I learned the guitar. I started learning the guitar. Started playing it, and then that's when I realized I like to play and sing at the same time, and I'm drawn towards worship. So I was introduced to Hillsong because of King Assemblies of God influence.
Yeah.
I was introduced to Hillsong, nice. CCM type of music, and I found myself leading. The more I led, the more the call was solidified in me. So to answer a question that you had asked me before, there are people who know me as a sound guy, as a tech guy. And there are people who know me as a worship
leader, yeah.
Now, worship leading is my calling. Sound engineering and production is tent making for me. My primary role and call is yes. Though I'm also gifted in sound and engineering. Yes.
Yeah. I would like to know how you've been able to come to that understanding and even to be able to separate them. And even make them work together as well, because I feel like they work together as well.
Yeah, because you see now when I tell you that my calling is being a worship leader, being a worship minister. As long as you have your eye on the prize, which is the main thing, what's your calling? My calling is Jesus. Then every other thing that I do has to align and yield to the primary call. That's why you'll never find me mixing in secular gigs.
Okay.
Because for me to mix in a secular gig, it would mean that I have to internalize the type of music for me to bring it at its best. Then I'm mixing altars.
Okay. I have questions here now. I think hii episode itakuwa vulnerable, lakini kaende.
So because of the call, I can't do certain things.
Okay. Recently, okay, if you're comfortable opening about it, we'll talk about it. Lakini let me approach it from a different angle.
Yes.
So I told you I had the privilege of interacting and talking with the person who brought Burna Boy.
Yes.
And it is because he was involved in bringing Called Out.
Yes.
And so from his perspective, he's a believer, and he's serious about his work with God, but he's in business. So for Burna Boy, he will not attend the concert. He will make sure the tech is okay. He'll make sure everything is ready. But because it is not edifying him, he will not attend the concert or be involved in the concert. So how have you been able to only take gospel gigs? Like for me right now, I am in the space of curating, and I find myself mixing.
So you realize that out of the abundance of the heart, Scripture tells us that out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And whatever you feed the most grows most. And the truth of the matter is, from the natural look of things, that other side of things looks very enticing. Kuna delays the payments. They pay on time, the gigs, and then it's recurring. Unfortunately for church, you have to struggle a bit to wait for payments to come through. People don't meet the budget and all these other things. So you don't do them as often as you do the secular events. So,
and also, how has it worked for you? Yani, I have so many questions.
for me, it's just a conscious decision that you make, knowing that God is a provider.
Nice.
You have to believe what the word says. If the word says that God is a provider, then that's the word I'm standing on, not what my surroundings look like, not
what your bank account looks like.
I can tell you for sure, there are times that I've not known when the next paycheck is coming.
Yeah.
But God has always provided.
Yeah.
Why? Because he says that he's not a man that he should lie.
Yeah.
So between him and man, when man tells me that hauna pesa, now you can't provide this, you can't meet this need, then who do I choose to believe? Do I make God a liar that he's not a provider? He is a provider. And he says that even the sparrows, the birds in the air, they don't lack anything to eat. And you're of more value, even as a believer, as a child of God, than that bird. Scripture also tells us in, I think, Matthew, that which of you fathers, if you ask your father if your children ask you for bread, you will give them stone.
Yeah.
If your children ask you for fish, you give them snake.
Yeah. What about me?
Then if you, as evil as you are,
you're providing
it says
for
that
your child,
as evil as you are, you don't do that.
Yeah.
How much more does God? Are we patient enough to see God's faithfulness? Or do we approach things with solutions in our heads that, Lord, I need this, but you already have a backup plan of how you want him to meet the need?
Kuna watu wamesema ati wanatafuta pesa.
How you have a backup plan, because I have this need, so if I talk to Enoch, najua Enoch anaweza nisoti na hii, and then you come and give a testimony of how you believed God.
Kumbe ulikuwa na mikakati, ulitenga.
Ulitenga na ukatengewa. so like basic bottom line is it's a relationship. I normally say that you can give without loving, but you can never love without giving.
Wow. Guys, niliwa warn tukianza episode that hii episode itakuwa
so for God, because God so loved the world, he gave. So because he loves me, he will take care of me. And I know that God doesn't wish bad things on me. God's desire is for us to live a prosperous life. The walk of faith is not a walk of suffering and all these other things. That we may enjoy all good success. There's success and there's good success. So what is this good success? What are the parameters that measure this good success? They are all found in the Word of God. So that's why you realize that for me, it's easy not to take a secular gig because of the principles that I've laid ahead. Knowing that I'm not taking this gig, but I know because I'm faithful, he'll provide. Because God is faithful, he will provide.
Okay, so let's go back to you finished high school, you've started playing, you've realized you like playing the guitar and singing. So what's the direction you take?
So
you finish high school.
I finished high school, I joined Daystar University.
Which year is this?
Daystar 2009. 2009 I joined Daystar. 2009 I joined Daystar, and I joined a team called Sing Africa. So for about 2 years I'm the music director for Sing Africa. We travel out of the country, Rwanda, Burundi, Uganda and Kenya. we do missions and all these other things. So that's where I met Mwanga. Yeah. I meet the founder of Mwanga, called Shiri. We become very good friends, and he's years ahead of me, like 2 years ahead of me. So once we finish, he finishes, and he transitions and begins Mwanga. So he reaches out and tells me, hey, there's this group that I'm beginning for ministry and all these other things. I'd like you to be part of it. So I joined Mwanga as a lead guitarist.
As a lead
But guitarist, you're not even as a vocalist.
You're playing both. You're playing lead.
I was playing both, both acoustic and lead. Because also Shiri was playing acoustic.
Yes.
So there I meet the likes of Laka, Manasseh, Chikwaza, Penina, Nate, and we just do music. Rosie, and we do stuff. We do ministry for a while. Then I leave because now church is more demanding. I need to focus more on church than on outside missions. Which church is this? Now I was in at this particular point I was in Pefa. Yes.
That's where you met your wife.
Yes, that's where I met my wife. And she was in the worship team too. So, so that's how I met her. We led worship together for a while and all this. At the same time, during this time, there's a young Ugandan man of God who has just come into the country. I met him in Mwanga.
Actually, so that's the first time I had you. I remember the first time I had you lead worship was when you were singing "He Loves Us." I think that's the first time actually I had that song. In the home, I looked for it. Which song is this? And it was amazing. Ilikuwa Nairobi
Baptist. And actually, I wasn't meant even to be the lead. I was only leading because now the rest of our team had gone to minister in front of people. So just to hold forth of the worship moment, I sang the song. Because if you notice, I was on the electric at that point. Yes. Actually, so in Mwanga, I wasn't doing much of the singing. But then I remember that one I sang, and that's the first time also Pastor Benjamin had me. In the same concert that you came, Nairobi Baptist. Yes, Nairobi Baptist.
The order is not very clear in my mind. The concert that was at Daystar Valley Road.
That was much later.
Was way much later.
Yes, later than the Nairobi Baptist one. Nairobi Baptist was actually an evening service that had been arranged. It was called One Worship, I think. Yes. So we had just been invited to come and lead that particular session. Yes. But now Daystar was our.
Did Pastor Benjamin speak in that?
Yes, he spoke. He spoke because he would come and attend our rehearsals. So in our set, him and Chikwaza. So Chikwaza started. Chikwaza preached for a while, and then Pastor took over. So during ministration is when now all our vocalists went to minister as the band was holding forth, and that's when I sang the song. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then now you built a relationship with him.
Yes.
For him to come speak in the concert.
Yes.
It was an album launch.
It was an album launch. Yes. We an album launch at Daystar University. Yeah.
And that's the time
Valley Road. Yes, that's the time you came, and the rest is
history.
Yeah. So so that's the first time we met. He had heard about me, but we had never met because by the time he was coming, I was not in the country. I was in Juba. We were doing a project in Juba. So by the time we came back, so he had me the first time. At Nairobi Baptist. So we did that, and then much later he called me and told me, I have this service that we are doing at Comfort Hotel, and I would like you to come and just come and help with worship. I was actually coming to hold fort for Shiri, because in my head Shiri was the worship leader for the meetings and all this. Because I actually even came to know Pastor Benjamin through that connection, the Mwanga connection. So we spoke on phone. I told him, yeah, that's fine. I would love to come and do this. I'd love to come and just be there. So is there anything you would want me to come with? Because I had felt a release of, hey, I need to plug in somewhere and just be away from PEFA, because I just needed some place where I could, at that point in my life, I was going through some things and I just needed clarity and to clear my head and just to kind of start afresh and all that. So I came and I was looking for something new anyway.
Yeah.
So I came, carried my guitar.
And your sound?
No, this time no sound, because it was my first meeting. I've never attended any, so I didn't know.
Yeah.
So I come
which reminds me something. I'll talk about it.
So I come with my guitar.
Yeah.
And we talk.
So you attended the service when you met Amma, you just met?
No, like I'd never attended the service, but I think this was the second meeting, if not the third. Yes. So I come and we meet, we speak, and we click, because now I was asking him questions about what type of music we are sharing, and then I realized we have the same
Hillsong.
yeah. we like the same songs, we like the same vibe. We used to like the same shoes, but we still do. Yeah. So you'll find that we would have a lot to talk about and all that. But now for me, it was interesting.
Are you age mate?
No. He's younger than I am. Yes. So we just clicked and I started enjoying. I sat in the service, led worship, sat in the service, and I enjoyed the sermons. I felt the word was being taught in a way that I've never seen the word. To a point, I kept looking at my Bible. Is it the same Bible that I read?
It has just been added now.
You see how you read in the scriptures that and the word came to life. That was literal. There's a time he had hosted another preacher. They were doing similar what we are doing, but now we were invited into their conversation. And they were just discussing. My friend, we were all at the edge of the seat. Like, no, this can't be the word. Yeah. So whoever tells you that Christianity is boring, salvation is boring, they need to re-examine themselves. They must be the boring ones.
Yeah. It's from an ignorant place.
Yes. Man, I loved it. And I knew this is a place I meant to be. Yeah, because you see, God is the only employer who will fire you and still keep you in the workforce. And I learned something recently that made a lot of sense, especially for people who serve in church, people who are in worship teams and all that. You can be in church for so long, even for, like, you work in church, you serve in church, you can be there for so long that you miss out on relationship with God. So you are a servant, but not a son. So God fires you from the workforce, but still maintains you because you're just there. But if you look at the period of time that has lapsed between when you got born again and now, you have very little to show for in terms of spiritual growth, in terms of like having impact. Yeah. So here comes a young man who's full of life, and he's depicting the word in a way that I'm like, he's like he's taking the word literally. Yeah.
And it has worked.
And it's working, and you can see results. Yeah. Who wouldn't want to follow?
Yeah. Nice.
So I copyright, submit right.
Yeah.
Because if God has been faithful to him,
Yeah.
who I can see,
Yeah.
he'll definitely be. There's evidence. Then he'll also be faithful to me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So this transition, are you doing this both at the same time?
Yeah. At this time,
have you started getting sound engagement?
At this time,
yeah.
At this particular time, I am interested in sound. I'm running sound at the side. I'm also a worship leader, and I'm looking at how do I get engaged into this, because I'm also passionate about technology. I want to see how I can best use technology. And here's the thing, that in everything that I do, because of the call, everything has to align to that call. So even this sound that I'm doing is to benefit the body of Christ. It's to benefit the call, the kingdom. So it has to tie back to that. So this time around, I'm looking at, okay, which companies can I get employed at? Because now I'm about to finish school and all these other things. And I realize, like, hey, if I go to this company, I'll not be able to tell them I don't do secular gigs. If I go to this other company, it's crazy. Yes, they do nice things, but it's not where
you're not taking all the gigs.
Yes, and then again, it's also not where the vision is.
Okay.
So during that time, God just drops an idea into my head, like, why don't you begin your own? And I get a caption for it: Spirit-led engineering. Because for spirit-led engineering. So, because a fader is a fader, a microphone is a microphone, cables are cables. Cables are not born again. The microphones are not born again. So anyone can just push the fader. Anyone can EQ a mic. But the difference between me mixing and someone else mixing, me running church sound, as opposed to someone else, is the Holy Spirit. That's a secret sauce. Because you can easily come and push faders, and it's slapping and it's pumping and everything is sounding, you feel like it's there. But all you've done is you become a modern day idol. Because now the attention has shifted from the worship, which is connecting people to God, to now anafunga. Band inafunga. So it is very unfortunate for people to come expecting to meet with Jesus, then they meet you
with your kick.
Yeah. Because now, assuming that kick is slapping, and you're, here I am to worship, here I am to... like, that person will no longer live there, and they'll start enjoying the music and not being to the music, rather than mixing for church. And that's why mixing for church, mixing for corporate, mixing for clubs and concerts is different. If it's a concert, yes, come, let's do that. But if you call it a worship experience, let it be a worship experience. Let people connect.
Okay.
Yeah.
A couple of things. One, I remember, I don't know if you remember, but you gave me sound for...
Oh, yeah.
You remember? I was in a band called Lots of Love.
Yes, I remember Lots of Love.
And we had a concert at KNT. And so our plan to push this concert was to do small gigs at restaurants.
Yes.
And so we had planned to do one. Our first one was Clarion.
Yes.
Clarion has a cafe.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
I remember that one.
And on the day of the gig, we have not figured out, hatuna sound.
Typical.
So I called you
Yeah.
And you gave me I think you had a service
Yes, I had
for
city
city
lighters.
lighters.
Yes.
in the somewhere there.
Yeah. Same building, Clarion Hotel.
Upstairs,
Yes,
sasa.
upstairs. Yeah.
And you gave me speakers. Yeah, I think you asked me to pay for transport or something to get them there.
Yeah.
And then after you'll just come take them from.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm grateful. Thank you. Thank you
I
very
had even
much.
forgotten about it.
Yeah.
That's
So
Kitambo. Yeah.
this time you're getting into, because you've told me about you've installed sound
Yes.
for guys, for churches.
Yes.
There's an auditorium here, Signature.
Yes.
You install sound for
we
them
did
because
that.
they're actually independently are just going to see if we can do events there.
Yeah.
And they told me you're the one who's doing
It's a nice space. Yeah, we did that. Even this Sarit Center Expo, we did the acoustics for that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice,
So
nice.
interesting projects. Parklands Baptist installed the system.
How is that? How is that? Just take us through briefly for a layman. Take us through. How does installation look like? What do you do?
So for installations, we would clients would come and they probably want to upgrade their audio systems, and by then was working with a company called Sound Creations. So Sound Creations.
How do you get to start working? Actually, tunarukaruka tu at what you
So
how do you get
Sound
to
Creations was very divine because when I started getting small equipment for myself and starting to do business. I got into a partnership with someone. We had almost a year of working together, but it didn't work out. So we had to split again.
Why? Because of money? Because of... Okay, you can disclose.
Let's just say administrative issues and all that. So it didn't work out.
Umego.
Yeah.
I see.
It didn't work
but
out.
It's okay.
It didn't work out. So we parted
Separate.
ways. Parted ways and
Two can't work together unless they are...
Yes. So when we parted ways, I had to kind of start afresh. Because that was a rough period, because I had invested myself and everything. Then it didn't work out. So starting afresh was tough, but I was starting to recover. Then during that time, I see an email that comes my way, and it's the director for Sound Creations writing to me, we have an opening. If you would be interested, we would like to give you. So I remember it was 2019 January. The email came around because I began work on the 22nd of January 2019. Yes, because the email came on 1st of December, 7th of January 2019, because I remember because I was running a conference in Nakuru. So I saw the email and I was like, okay, but official work I began on 22nd of January. But before that, having spiritual authority is very important. So I presented the offer to my pastor. We talked about it, and my pastor told me, I think you should take it. So I took it, knowing that from running your own business, you're coming to be employed. And if I'm coming to be employed, I'm coming to start from scratch, because I'm not coming as a...
So what was your role? What were you doing?
I was coming in as a technical sales executive. So live sound. So one of the things that we have many companies in the country that are selling equipment similar to the setup that you guys have here, but most of the shops, don't get to employ professionals in the craft to do the sales. It's a guitar, so just find someone to sell. As opposed to getting an expert in guitars to sell you these guitars. They will know every part of that guitar and can answer any question that you want. Because now you're not just selling a product, but you're also selling art.
So you are
So-
an asset.
So when I came, I found the the director of the company had that mindset of I want professionals and all this. So he had employed other people as well. So we were a set of experts in different fields. There's one who's a service and maintenance expert, rigging, lighting experts, and all these other things. So we were actually a workforce. They sell equipment, audio, visual lighting,
They don't hire.
and acoustic. They don't hire. They sell. They are distributors. So I get employed. Immediately I get employed. Here I am thinking that I've retrogressed. I've gone lower. How do people leave employment to start their own? Not leaving their own to. But here's something that God was speaking to me even during that time. That even whatever they're going to pay you, it may look small, but it may not be the value that you expect. Sorry. But take it as they are paying you to attend school.
Wow.
So for me, Sound Creations was business school.
Wow.
Because from there, I learned logistics. I
Uh-huh.
learned back office.
Yeah.
I learned imports. I learned how to work with KRA and all this other meaning, how to acquire brands, how to service and maintain. I learned basically everything.
To school.
It was school for me.
Mhm.
So during that time, I really learned a lot. And COVID hits.
2020.
In
1 year later.
1 year later.
Yeah.
It hits.
Uh-huh.
My boss calls me and tells me, how did you know? Because every other person who was in the industry running it alone was definitely affected. No events happening.
Yeah.
Shut
So
down.
what do you mean? How did you know?
How did I know
Yeah.
that something like this would happen?
Yeah.
And I took employment.
Oh.
Because I could have easily refused the employment,
Yeah.
and then immediately COVID hits.
Yeah.
So, and then you start realizing that God is a master plan.
Yeah.
So I do this project.
Yeah.
And part of the terms is, if I do a project nice, then it gives me leverage to go and bargain for better salary increment and all these
So
other things.
how was your
So,
agreement? You don't have to get into figures, but how was your agreement? Were you getting commission from?
No, I was getting paid.
So salo yako ni salo
Yes,
yako.
salo.
Uh-huh.
But now, on projects and all that,
Uh-huh.
there's also commissions because now you're doing extra more than just sales. So you'll be a project manager for specific projects and all these other things.
I
So-
remember a project you guys were doing. You remember Tafaria Castle?
Yes, Tafari.
It was
yes.
through Sound Creation.
Yes.
We went there for a project, for another songwriting project.
Yeah.
And then they told me Sound Creation was here last
Yeah.
week.
Our guys are just there. Our guys there. So we do Parklands Baptist.
Mm-hmm.
Parklands Baptist comes and it's an amazing project because it's an overhaul for the entire sound system. And because it's during COVID, installation is happening during that time. So you have free time to do quite a lot. So we're installing state-of-the-art consoles, Midas Pro X.
Haukukuwa na bad COVID experience?
Funny enough, let me tell you, our salaries were slashed into half during COVID. But during that season, I felt like I had more money and more resources.
You're exposed to more resources.
and more resources
Yeah.
than when I was on full salary and everything was okay. because that's the time that we hosted the most at home, because we were having a worship team from a church coming in and doing like there's the declarations that we usually say in church. Expenses decreased, blessings increased. Like it was like that. And I had no reason to. So we do this project and it's amazing, and I'm like, yes, now this is it. Then the second shutdown comes, and my team, my colleagues look at me and they tell me, oh, kishetani ni mbaya, because this was the project inafaa launch to give you a better bargaining power. But now, with the way things are, you can't. Kila mtu is, at this point, you see even our salaries are slashed. So the company can't. So I'm like, oh my God, now what will I do? Okay, I chill out and relax, be at peace, and all that. We finish the project. It's an amazing project.
This is Paki.
Yes, and I'm waiting. So while I'm waiting, the boss calls me.
This means there's no work, or what?
There's work
waiting?
still,
but small
there's work still. We are going to the office, but it's not business as usual, because now everyone has been affected by COVID and all this. So I shelved the idea of a salary raise and all that, because you're just looking at things and you're
this
like,
is 2021.
This now is 2020. 2020 coming to an end.
Okay.
So 2020, my boss one of those days just calls me and tells me, I'd like you to report in earlier tomorrow, because the shop would open at 9. So he asked me to report at 7. So I'm wondering, like, okay. I report, and we would do biometrics and all these other things for logins. What I didn't know was that my boss was observing all of us. So I was on an ongoing interview that I didn't know. Until my boss tells me now, Manu, I've been observing. I've checked on the times that you come, the times that you go. I've tested you with money. I've given you less, and you've actually made it work. I've given you more, and you've actually reported that I've given you more. I've seen how you steward resources. I've given you equipment, and I've seen how you handle equipment and all these other things. And here is what I want to do. I want to offer you a managerial position. So coming from to
a managerial position. Wow.
And all that. So that definitely comes with
Perks.
So we discuss about better pay and all this. So we discuss and we agree. And now, so that I'm at peace with my colleagues, I tell him now, I will want to request for something else.
That your people,
that everyone in the company should be added salary. Then it will soften my landing with them.
Working with them.
Yes.
Yeah. I love that.
So he agrees. We do interviews, and everyone is done appraisals and all these other things, and we start working, and we push.
You're
Work.
a good leader. Yani ulifikiria your people, like it's not just you.
Because you see now
your performance.
My performance is yes. If I am to excel, then they have to be comfortable. For me to be able to push them to demand extra for them. But because if they are not focused, if they are troubled about something else, then they'll not give me 100.
Nice.
Their brains will be about I have a pending issue. I have
back to your about giving.
Yes.
It's not receiving.
Yes. Not receiving. So, and then I went on tour before now all this, on the giving thing. I went on tour. And
on tour with who?
With a Frizo.
Okay. When in Daystar?
When in Daystar in the US. And that too taught me a lot about giving. You see, when scripture says that give, it is more blessed to give
Than to receive.
than to receive.
Yeah.
That scripture had never made sense to me. Like,
Until
never
you-
made sense, because how can giving be more blessed than receiving?
Yeah.
When you receive something you not pay for, you're happy, you're blessed.
Yeah.
So that concept never really resonated
Uh-huh.
until we went to the States, and those guys are givers.
Yeah.
So I would see how they would be excited to give and all these other things.
Ready to give, yeah.
And when I went with one suitcase. When I came back with 7.
Plus a guitar.
Plus a guitar. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Not saying that I was gifted all those things.
Yeah.
But it rubbed on me.
So you became.
So I would walk into a shop and see something nice. And I'm like, wow, this thing would look so nice on so and so. This thing would look so nice. So out of those 7 suitcases, only 2 are mine.
Wow.
The rest I had brought people things, even if it's a small thing. Just, oh, boy, is there? I saw this and I thought it would be nice on you. And the joy that was on people's faces, because they did not expect it, was what I felt like. Wow, this is the joy that I feel. Like I'm so excited to see people smile because there's something given and all that.
See people happy.
So that giving becomes a very crucial thing, and you can't love without giving.
Yeah. Nice.
Giving is a response of love.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yes.
Okay.
So we work projects and do that. I work with the stint for a while. Then I had a very good boss. At Sound Creations, because I had told him, I'm here to learn. And I want to learn from you. I know you're not an engineer, an audio engineer or anything, but I know you have something that I can learn from you. I know I can. You've been in this craft for more than 20 years. There's something that I can draw from you, and I'm here to draw. So, faithfulness. The guy sees that I'm a good steward.
So, okay, question. When you get to management, what does that mean? What is your responsibility now? What are you doing?
I'm head of technical now. I'm head of the technical crews. All installations have to come through me. And
so where are you installing sound?
In different places. So house of worship, restaurants, clubs, schools, the business establishments like now.
Like Tafaria.
Yeah, like Tafaria.
You even had a conversation with Wambura.
Yes, we even had for the school. Yeah. So such places. It was diverse because now there's commercial audio, there's house of worship, there's clubs. These are different places that you install sound systems and audio
so
visuals.
Do you just install sound or you work on the treatment?
Now we were doing full scale because we would do sound, lighting, video, visuals, acoustics.
Oh.
Yeah. So we would do the full spec.
Nice.
Based on scope of engagement.
So Sound Creation sells also
and integrates.
Videos, cameras.
Yeah. Like ICC Mara, the screens they have, Sound Creations. That was a project I did. Lighting, Chauvet, we supplied and installed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Cameras, data video, and all these other things. Yeah.
So are you still in Sound Creation now? Or?
No. So
how does that transition look like?
So that transition looks like I worked for a while, and then I felt a release, like my school is now. I'm graduating now.
It's time to graduate.
Time to graduate. Whatever I was doing as Baldman that I put on hold, now I've learned enough to.
Were you buying equipment that time, like your own stuff?
Yes, I was upgrading. Pole. And you see now, here's why I was saying I had a good boss. He called me one day in his office and told me, Manu, I know you like to dream. And I know it was a win-win for both me and him. But he was saying, I know you like to dream. And I want you to risk with my money. My equipment is here. any idea that you have, you risk
bring
with
it.
mine.
Nice.
So when I was allowed marketing gigs, to do marketing gigs, I will go all out. I would take cream de la cream keyboards, equipment brand new, and just do events, and it was like, wow. This is the full force.
Kuna watu ulikuwa unasomea before tuanze episode. Ukiwaambia about
So
big.
Yes.
Unaweza endelea kuwasomea at this particular point.
Yeah, like whatever you do, no matter how small it may look, do it right.
Yeah.
There's a misconception on humble beginnings that the humble beginnings have to be very humble for you to have a testimony. You don't have to structure how your testimony will be, otherwise it's not a testimony.
It's a script.
It's a script, trying to show that you started poor, now you're rich. There are people who start okay and build and get bigger. So if you have one microphone, make sure that microphone is the cleanest it can be. Make sure it's well maintained, well handled, well stored. Then it becomes easy to duplicate that process.
Nice.
When you grow, when now equipment also becomes more. Otherwise, what you do with one, you will do with the rest.
Duplicate,
Yes. And a lizard in Kenya
cannot be a crocodile.
In the US. So don't tell me that you'll start paying attention to detail and taking care of equipment and even putting clients ahead when you get big. Because practice makes perfect. It does not define
getting late for shoots.
It does. It does not define. It does not define what the perfection is. Whether it's good or bad, it will perfect it. So get the right thing, do it the right thing at the first time.
Nice one. I hope you guys are enjoying the conversation we're having. Let's go to you're the manager now, and he tells you to risk.
So I would do events that.
So
marketing.
As Baldman,
I will Baldman was still there, and he was aware that I have Baldman and all this, and because of conflict of interest, I would not push a lot of Baldman, but I would push more of the company, and I would do the events because I would see, like right now, you guys are Fender and Cort mostly, right? You would find that the people who have the Fender and Cort equipment, you can't really necessarily rely on them to push your product. So if you don't do it yourself, then no one ever gets to know about your product, whether it's good and how it's represented. And that's why I talked about having people who are skilled as representatives of the brands. Because now there's someone who's going to deploy this guitar and then it will not sound as a Cort.
It will sound as revered.
Yes. And then there's someone who's going to deploy this guitar and it will sound
heavenly.
Like, what is that? I want to hear, what is that you're using?
Nice.
So that is what I was feeling with the brands currently that we were running for the company. That yes, we are selling this equipment, but I'm not feeling the value of it. Even though, despite them being premium brands. So on the marketing events that I was accorded, I wanted to showcase the brands as they were, and their professional and their outstanding features. And that's what I did. I did events
like
we did Praise Atmosphere 2019.
So you came on board in that event as sponsors?
Yes. Our sponsorship was because Sitam is one of the clients. I'm still talking as if I'm in Sound Creations. Was one
Sitam
of the
Karen.
Sitams as a whole.
As a body,
So our partnership was with them plus now praise atmosphere. So whatever agreements, partnership, the type of partnership that is back office things, but now we would come in as main sponsors, and now we would deploy also our systems and all that. We did Mike Manoa's Make Room,
which was in Daystar as well.
Make Room was in
Valley Road.
Make Room was in
the auditorium in Daystar. Is that the one
there's one we did in Daystar?
Yeah.
And that one was amazing.
Yeah.
And there's one we did at Nairobi Cinema.
I think that's the recent one. Yeah.
Not the latest one, the previous one before this one. Yeah.
I remember something you told Pastor, and he's always saying it. That time for the one in Daystar.
Yes.
That don't fill a room with equipment.
Fill the room with sound, no speakers.
Yeah. You can tell us about that.
Yeah. So we for that particular event, I had the opportunity of running DB technology speakers, and we were showcasing the IG Engineer series.
Yeah. And they're tiny speakers.
They are very small, compact. They're small, compact column speakers. So while setting them up, I remember there was because we had other companies that had supplied staging, lights, and screens. So they were wondering, when are these guys going to set up their sound?
Our only sound.
When are these guys going to set up sound? Because they are just running backline. So when we hung the speakers, I remember there's someone who came and asked us, "Hey, you guys, mmeamua kuweka home theater?" Because the speakers were small and they were like, "Hey, this one is a flop. I had heard the speakers before.
You knew what you're dealing with.
I knew. But after they commented, I doubted. I doubted, and I was like, wow, will it really work or not? But then again, we turned on the system. My God.
Did they keep quiet?
They not only kept quiet.
Sifa zako zilitembea.
Hata si ati they didn't even keep quiet. You see, like the woman at the well who came and started shouting, "Come see a man who's told me everything." Now
they did the marketing for you.
They did the marketing because at that time, my boss, the director, we had a shop in Rwanda, so he had gone to Rwanda, and on the flight, he happened to be with the boss for these guys, and so the boss is asking him on the flight, "What is that you did over the weekend?" So the guy is scared, like, is it a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know how to respond. So he asked him, yeah, what about it? So he said, my guys have not kept quiet. They're saying there are some things you deployed there. There are speakers you put there. They've been pushing me. We get them and all that. And in that flight, he closed 16 speakers.
Wow.
Sale. So when he came back, he asked me, what did you do?
Ulifanya nini?
What did you do? How did you run it? So from there, history. We've sold so many of them. We even have them installed in our church.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, that's what I wanted to ask you. That's what is in church.
Yes, that's what is in church, and it works. It serves the purpose.
Very powerful.
It's discreet. Like it's not the thing that you see when you first walk into a room. Because that's the other thing.
But you hear it.
You hear the sound. And here's the thing, that you only have one. You can never make a first impression twice. You only have one shot. So make it count. And that was it. So for me, I love clean setups. I love where stages where creativity is seen. As I do production leads and events, my aim is to leave an experience. Like, I don't want you to notice the equipment. I want you to notice the center of attention, who is the client at that particular point. And that's something that I had felt even in the industry, that we are branding events by the companies that have done the event rather than seeing the client. Ile gig ya Baldman, ile gig ya so and so, ile gig, but Baldman was a contractor. So you should have seen the ile gig ya Hedgehog. Why? Because Hedgehog was a client. No Baldman.
Of Hendrik Sam.
Yes, I know Hendrik, an amazing
sound engineer, that producer actually.
A producer, yeah.
He was saying he loves it when there's a session he was sharing, and he was saying success for him is no one commenting about the sound quality. Like, he knows he has done a good job when the credit is on the song
is nice, everything.
That is so selfless.
Like people need to remember the event, like, wow, the songs were powerful, engaging, and that's what I was saying about worship as well. It's unfortunate that people come expecting to meet God or meet a certain experience, then they meet the engineers, then they meet why? Because you want to do your dream project with a client.
Hey, that's amazing.
So if we can put the events ahead, then we would have standards to measure our growth. And it's easier when someone calls you and tells you that I was referred to you by, than, hi, my name is Manu, I do sound, can I do your event? I don't have the bargaining power.
That's true.
But if I was referred to you, then
it means your job is
I don't have to prove to you that I know my work.
Nice.
I don't have to validate. I know how to mix. I know how to run events. I know how to run sound. I can design. I can do all this. No, because you're calling me. You already have done that part for me. And you see, it's, I've lost it. The train of thought. But all I'm saying is, we need to come to a point where we value the craft and we put in the time. So that I don't just charge you for the sake of charging you, but I'm actually giving you value that you can walk out there with and say, yes, this is a value. The difference between there are two different schools of thought. The difference between someone who will come and buy a guitar here and someone who will buy Luthuli or sub-quality a replica guitar is, we will both see the same guitar or the same iPhone and we'll be like, wow, it's really nice. But now our first question is what will determine the direction
of which one you take. How does it sound?
The first question for one person is, wow, ninoma. How much? How much? This other guy will ask, wow, ninoma, what can it do? So the guy for what can it do understands the features and every other thing. He's taken through what the product can actually do, the strengths of the product and every other thing. Then his final question is, how much for all that? Now, the price is justified by the features. On this other side, you've given the price. Wow, aninoma, how much? So, kwa nini hiyo guitar ni 400? Kwani iko na? Hiyo si ni Pro Box. You get? Then now, you have an uphill task of trying to justify the features to match the price. And that's how now you find ourselves always going the cheaper way.
I remember something you told me when I was buying my guitar. That time we were going to US with school. So nikakuonesha the options I have and what I want to get. Ukaniambia kitu funny which I had not thought about. Shida ya wasanii tunanunuanga guitar because of looks. And it's not about how it sounds. Manze ili nirudisha back to the drawing board.
Yeah, because you see the thing is, with every additional look and print on that guitar,
it affects the sound
quality.
Yeah.
So we need to learn about tone.
Yeah.
There are people you see people going for gigs with, especially if you're watching the touring musicians, you'll find they have like 6 guitars, but it's one guitarist playing.
Yeah.
So I only use this for this particular song. I only use this. Why? Because there's something called tone.
Yeah. And
the same way you don't wear flip-flops with a suit.
Exactly.
But there's a place where flip-flops would work. There's a place where sneakers would work. There's a place where they are all shoes, yes. Yeah. It's not one size fits all, but they accent different things. The same way you don't expect you to come and do African, let's say like Serbian music, and I mix for you as if I'm mixing CCM. It will sound okay, but at the back of your head you'll be like, there's something off, but I can't put my finger on it, but there's something wrong. So if a genre requires it, stay true to the genre. Because after the principle is learn it the right way. After you've learned the principles, now you can break them. Because by the time you're breaking them, you already know how they work. But you want to break principles.
Like in playing.
Yeah, you want to break the principle
and you don't know how
it works. You will dig yourself into a hole. Yes. And that's why you realize, for engineers, I was having an interesting conversation with one of the engineers in the country. And I was telling him, like, I feel like in the industry, we are yet to get to know the differences between engineer A, B, C. Why? Majority of the events that we do, that time that we are meant to do to be producing and mixing the event, we are managing the event by ensuring there's no feedback, there's no things that are elementary we should have handled. Now this is the craft. I want to hear you as you hear me. What is the difference between your playing of guitar and my playing of guitar? There's a signature sound I have, there's a signature. But if I don't take time to develop my signature sound, it will never come out. Because what we're doing is, remember that thing for 1 hour preparation?
Please talk about it. Please talk about it now.
Yeah. There's a principle where, like the Chinese, borrowed from the Chinese, the Chinese will take 8 hours planning, and take only 1 hour executing it. Now, flip it. You take 1 hour planning, meaning you've not, like, the pre-production stage is the most important stage because it determines the production and post-production. How well you've prepared. You've heard that failing to prepare is planning to fail, yeah? So, how well you plan. I'd rather you spend the most time planning, looking at all the loopholes. In case this happens, how do we mitigate? In case this happens, how do we do it better? How can we do it faster? How can we do it not cheaper but affordable? Without cheaper sounds like it's lowering also quality, but affordable, same quality but not breaking bank. So how do we do it faster, more affordable, and easier on labor? Because again, you don't want to do something and then you die.
Yeah. Example that you used here was about how you don't get time to record, like you remember when you're saying to record like videos of how you you
Yeah. Like for example, there are gigs that we've done. There are gigs that have gone actually very well, and there are gigs that we've not had enough time to prepare. To the point that between the time of the event and preparation, the sound check and check up, you're just running, helter skelter, trying to fix things. The gig has started, you're still fixing things. And there are gigs where we are actually waiting for people.
Because you're ready.
You're ready. Like, when are they coming? Let's do this. You're ready. You've factored every other thing. You've set up, you've done. You've had time to do your checks as tech department. You've checked your checks. Artist has come, has done their sound check. They are good. You're okay on all fronts. You're just waiting now. Let's open doors. Let's wait. And you realize those are the best events that you do. Why? You're not thinking of what is not working. You're thinking of how can I better the experience, rather than ina work shikilia tu hadi hapo gigi ishe. Because we should be giving ourselves a run for our money. Like, if I do a gig this way, my competitor should want to outdo me. But unfortunately, we are not competing on quality. We are competing on price. And the only way of winning the prize war is by being cheaper. The only way to win prize war is by becoming cheaper. And the more you become cheaper, the more the quality also goes down. Then what are you doing? But if we compete in terms of quality, then we've put the country up here on the world stage. Why? These guys are doing something different. These guys are doing exploits. These guys are going crazy on their creativity. They're doing all this. And then the challenge is also on the client. Fika Bay.
Okay.
Fika Bay.
Yeah.
You want good?
Yeah, Fika Bay are good. Okay. To get back to your transition, getting from when did you feel like it is time to leave sound creation, and how did that look like, and where are you now?
I started feeling pressure to rebuild Baldman. And so I spoke with my pastor, and he agreed that I should, but I would never find the right time, because I was also one of those people who I don't want to leave when there's a crisis, because it kind of feels that you're abandoning ship. And at that particular time, when the thought of leaving was coming, the place where we were as a company was not the most comfortable place that we would have wanted. If I had left at that point, then I think the interpretation would have been very different, even to my boss. It would have been that I've abandoned ship and all these other things. So I waited when everything was fine. We were all good. Business is back to normal and every other thing. And then that's when I made the move. I made that bold move to send the email.
So how does that look? Did you have a plan? Was it now it's time to work on Baldman?
The plan was now, let me work on Baldman, let me build Baldman, let me restructure. Because there's something that I came also to learn, that I don't have to own everything.
You don't have to own everything.
Yes. Yeah. Before when I started, I was like, I want to buy everything. So, because I want my own, there are things that I was not buying that were high quality. I was also getting, because now at least I know I have things. But now when I worked, during this time that I was employed, it gave me enough time to think through, because I would also see the turnaround time of products. You buy something today, A month later, there's a better product that has come. So that one is also now obsolete, and all that. Technology was moving very fast. So I listened to Vusi a lot. And there's something he said that
actually met you this year.
Yeah, so cool. So cool. Share notes. So up here, right?
Yes.
So what Vusi said was, you don't need to own it. You only need to access it.
You've told me that before.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't need to own it.
Nice.
You only need to
access
it.
Wow.
And that changed my thinking. Wow. Like whatever I own is what I know I don't get easily. I can't access easily.
But if
I can access it, I don't buy it.
Nice. Interesting.
I don't have maintenance cost on it. I don't have storage cost on it. I don't have to think on ROI, return on investment.
That's smart.
You get? Yeah. So that's why, to this point, I've not bought a line array system. Why? There are so many in the country. Yeah. And if I buy a line array right now, it will stay in the store. Because how many gigs are you doing for line arrays? But if I need the line array and I get a gig for line array, I can access from the guys who already have. That's overheads taken care of. Then that money are freed up to do something else, invest in something else, build better, and all that. So so that was now when I transitioned. That was the mentality I had. I started working with Sounds of Worship, with James Kahero. We've done enough things together. So Baldman started growing. We did live recordings, which I am passionate about.
Even that season of COVID and after, there were many live recordings.
Many live recordings.
And I was, every time I hear live recording, Nico too. Of course, Baldman.
So we did a lot. I thank God that he graced me for live recordings.
What are the lessons that you've had from doing live recordings, and what would you advise someone who's thinking of doing a live recording now? Things that they should think about and consider.
Things. All right. One of the things that the questions that I've had is, first of all, when you're planning to do a recording, let it not be an afterthought. Because some of the recordings that I've seen is people coming from, let's do an event, and then a month to the event is when they discover, by the way, we can do a live recording. Live recording is not just putting cameras and then pressing record. There's a process to it. There's thought and into it. There's planning. Because you see, even for me, when I lead worship, I usually see the entire set in my head first, start to finish. So when I come and start leading, whatever is happening is already things that I've already seen. Why? Because I've prayed about it, I've rehearsed about it, I've taken as much care to plan for every single moment. And the Holy Spirit is amazing, because if you tell him that I want to see someone healed at this particular time, he will partner with you and he will do it. So you don't have to fake it. But if you don't plan for it, then the moment comes, you don't know how to steward that moment. You will not have the ability to steward it. So that's why you find that people find it, it's too expensive to do a live recording, it's this, why is it that much? And we stream our services every other weekend. it should be like yes, it should be like that easy. Then again, the focus is, remember, the live recording, you will capture. I had this conversation with someone like 2 days ago. Yesterday, actually. Was it yesterday? No, 2 days ago on Monday. And they were telling me like, hey, we go and look at the files that were captured sometimes, and the files are wanting. Why? We focused more on the gig side of it and didn't pay attention to the...
So you have to do overdubs and all
because
that.
the recording is actually what millions will see.
That we focus on the 200 who are there.
Both are
important. Yeah.
You get?
Yeah.
So, but the primary goal for hitting record is for... Otherwise, remove the word recording. Just do concert and then
Live.
you hit the recording without chini ya maji. Umeelewa?
Yeah.
Because if we are to do that, then we need to see the quality of the standards going higher and higher and higher. So doing that, and then also again, what's the essence of doing a live recording? Is it because you've had a release from God?
Yeah.
Or is it a mark? Or is it a mark of
mimi msanii?
A rite of passage? Worship leaders, because now you're a worship leader.
Everyone is doing.
If you do a live recording, then now you graduate.
Graduate.
Yeah. Because again, I feel like, in as much as we are chucking out all these projects and whatnot, we should be able to trace the impact.
Wow.
We should be able to trace the impact.
Tell me one project that you feel impact yake to date, that you are a key person in the production. Kuna moja umehama hapa ukiingia, mimi napenda mkozi.
That's Nyasha's project. I happen to be part of the engineers working on the project. That was a good project. Some of the artists that I've worked with, Alice Kimanzi, with Gidi, Nyasha. I've done Jenaler. Jenaler was a good one.
KCC.
I love such moments, because you see, like now for Jenaler, that was a fantastic experience for me, because I would turn. And there are people, because from where I was mixing the FOH and doing recording, I could see. I can see people. There's someone who got into the room, and song 1, they went prostrate down till the last song.
Nice.
And that shows me encounter. That shows me relationship. And that's why we do these things. Because it's not just for you to have good vibes and all that. We need to see that.
Make money.
Yeah, we need to see the transformation, like the impact. Like people had time to soak in the presence of God. Getting to know the presence of God. That don't substitute strings and pads for the presence. So when the strings and pads are not there, will you be able to tell the presence of God? So those were amazing projects. Sheila Juma, an amazing project. Dr. Ipiana. Done quite a number. I can't remember all of them, but they were really, really nice projects.
You're part of Rema Fest at some point? The first one.
Indirectly. Rema Fest indirectly. Our worship. Yeah, I did our worship, Hebrews. I did Hebrews live recording, Hebrews 22, I think. That's Njoki, Munyi, and Jackie Gashiri. I also did the live recording for our worship, the team. It was called Warfest. That was a good one. Yeah. Then the new Modoireri for Carol. She's called Carol. Okay, I don't remember her name.
Were you involved in Done for Eunice Njeri?
Eunice Njeri, Tumeshinda.
Yeah,
that one we did. And that one was an amazing project because that same day that we were doing To Meshinda is when I got my second born daughter. Yeah, so Sifa. Yeah. So that was amazing. I was happy. Yeah.
Okay. What question did I want to ask you? So now we are at Eraya Baldman, and now you're doing projects as you. Yeah. How has that been?
I can say it's starting to take shape. It's starting to take shape because now people are starting to trust that you actually know what you're doing, and I thank God for the people who have been able to trust me with their projects, to also just do different things in different ways, and the future looks good. There are amazing projects coming up, and watch this space. So I've had conversations with other stakeholders in the space, and we just want to see how we can do more collaborations, and just to make sure we put the country on the map.
Thank you for saying that. Reminds me of there's a post you shared about time Maverick.
Yes.
And collaboration. How was that experience, first of all, and how you just let's get into details about collaboration and how that looks like.
For me that was
and how that experience was
amazing experience for me.
Yeah.
Because at that particular point the focus was, can we do this? It doesn't matter the company that you belong to, but can we do something as Kenyans, as industry professionals, as experts? And for Maverick, I'll tell you, there were so many.
Actually, it's funny you have not mentioned that
So
as
many.
One of the things you've done.
Yeah, I've done so many things that I remember them more.
That's true.
Yeah, so there are so many different stakeholders, aspects of it. And we all came together to do a specific task. For that particular gig I was running, I was the RF engineer. So coordinating frequencies and making sure all wireless systems
recently
are
you're telling
working.
me how that venue is a tricky venue.
It's a tricky venue.
Yeah.
It's a tricky venue because it's right across it's in the middle of a flight path for Wilson, and it's also a military facility. So jammers and all these other things happening. So for you to get frequencies for use, you have to
you have to toil.
you have to use your brain. You have to use your brain, but that's why we're there. So we partnered very well, and in one of the things that I saw we did very well was whenever one of us was not getting something right or something was just not working, we would all come together and just, okay, let's brainstorm. What can we do? Okay, let's try this. Oh, it works. Oh, good. Everyone goes back to the station. So everyone brought their A game, of which I feel we should have started doing that years ago. Then would have been far. But all is not lost. We've started, and
it's working.
It's working.
And is it Kavuta who brought you together?
Yes. And I like what also Four Winds is doing with Kavutha.
Yeah. Actually, I would let me put it here in record. We will want to have Kavuta here.
Please, by all means.
Yeah.
I think
I look for her.
She is a powerhouse.
Yeah.
She is a powerhouse.
Yeah. Me actually on the side of even
single-handedly, I think she drives the industry.
Yeah, that's
single-handedly.
True. That's true. I'm ready to learn from her. I'm sure there's so much.
Yeah. Actually, you what you do?
Yeah, we're doing the same thing. I think I'm a young version of what she's doing.
You should. She's good people. She's amazing.
Yeah.
She's
so
amazing.
under her
and
leadership,
a great manager.
Yeah, under her leadership, you were able to come together, and everyone, with their strength.
So you realize that everyone's pulling in their strength, their strongest point, rather than having one person doing everything. It's subdivided, so that you just focus on one aspect and give it the best.
Back to Vusi. Vusi said, because at that time that we met him, he said the mission is more important than the people, than the individuals.
Yes.
If we come together and not thinking about me, if we come together and work on the mission, let the mission be a success.
let me tell you, I used to have this mentality, and that's very true.
I think this will be the longest episode. How long? 133.
That's very, very, very interesting because and very true. I had this mindset before of flooding everywhere with Baldman. This project Baldman. Baldman did everything. Baldman did lighting. Baldman even brought the sweepers. Baldman did you
machines.
like hata watu wa catering. Baldman tents, seats. You get of which it's I don't say it's wrong, but then I realize that sometimes you have divided attention. And you not give everything your A game. But I can bring the best in cleaning, the best in decor, the best in catering, the best in sound, the best in lighting, the best in screens, the best in visuals, best in staging, and bring them together without necessarily pushing for it's Baldman who did it. And that's why you would go to events, and I dare you, any event that you'll see me in, and you'll find Baldman is a company that is doing, you'll never see their logo on the screens. You'll never see our logo on the screens.
The work will speak. When Hendrik
you'll never see our logos. You know why? Because the people who have not come for Baldman. They've come for the artist. So the less visible I am,
the more you're doing
the more impact I have now. I'm having.
Nice one.
Because I see people even branding the flight cases are big branded and every other thing branded, and then something goes wrong. They don't even need to ask who was doing it. They can see it everywhere. It's displayed on screens and every other place.
Nice.
But if you keep the main thing, focus on the mission, produce the event, then out of that one event I have 4 more. Why? Because the artist that I was working with will call me again, and the artist also has a sphere of influence, and from her sphere of influence they'll also do events and they'll call.
Nice one.
So that's better marketing for me than flashing a place with it's me who did. It's me who did.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay, amazing. So collaboration is
key. This year I'm doing so many projects, and we've started. You can tell we took a trip with Jack. We took a trip down.
Actually, let's talk about that. Let's talk about how you intentionally invest in yourself and in learning. Tell us about this trip. How was it?
There's a manufacturer called Adamson. He's one of the top brands in PA systems. So Jack and I got an opportunity to go and learn, see the products, and also learn from the company on how to use the products as we are pursuing other. There are good things coming. I don't want to preempt. So during that trip, we had a lot to talk about in terms of industry, where we are, and also how best we can work. Because majority of the events that you see, it's either me doing or him doing, me or him. And how do we now collaborate more and ensure that we put a particular standard out there? And if we put that standard, then it means I am growing and he's growing, and the person who's coming after is growing, and the entire industry is growing because now you've raised the threshold. It's no longer down here. It's coming up. It's coming up. It's coming up. So that you do due diligence and give the craft what the craft requires. So this year, more collaborations coming across board, more partnerships coming, and both local and international. And I'm excited about the space just to see the quality of events. And this doesn't mean that you have to be running on the latest of gear and all. With the same gear that you have, what's the best that you can do? Can you prioritize the client to the point that a client after a job feels like you did way more than they paid for? That means they feel like, what? Like I shortchanged you. Like whatever I paid you versus what you've delivered, even in terms of service, is way more. Then we are starting to grow. Rather than pesa yako imeishia hapa.
Thank you for the important role you're doing for the industry and actually making the threshold go higher.
Karibu.
Yeah.
Especially for church product. I'm passionate about church productions, church events and experiences, and it begins there. That we also shape culture. We shape the industry, we shape the quality. So we can't have amazing quality out in the secular world, and then when you come to church, it's mediocre. Since we have God, and I don't believe that God akifanya creation, when he was creating the world, alikuja point akasema turudie day 6 lilifanya blanda. No. He did everything excellent, and we come from that kingdom. And when he said, let us make man in our image and likeness, now on the likeness, God is a creator. Then what does that make me? A creative. God is an excellent God. So what does that make me?
I need to be excellent.
I need to be excellent in all my dealings. Otherwise, the apple doesn't fall
far from the tree.
So who are you copying? If you're not excellent, just check yourself.
You're the problem.
You're the problem. Let's do, even if you're going to do a small gig, even 2 microphone setup, do it as if you're doing it for
auditorium.
Yes, and do it like the best that you've ever done. If you're going to set up for just a piano and voice or a guitar and voice, do the best that you can with the tools that you have.
Nice one.
Yeah. To him who's faithful with a little, will be added unto it.
Nice. Nice. What advice? I like asking this question. What would you tell Manu who's 20 at this point? If you meet Manu who's 20 at this point, what would you tell? Hey, jump it.
I would say my younger version or 20-year-old version of myself. Take the training wheels off.
Take the
training wheels off. Like, risk it.
Risk it all.
Not to be too cautious. Like the first time you don't play safe. The first time you hear something, because you hear God, do it. Don't second guess it. So I would say that the fact that because now you see my personality. I'm a perfectionist. And I fear failure. So that for a long time before I worked on it was holding me back from doing so many things, because I feel like
you fear
everything has not lined up, so I can't do it. Then analysis paralysis. So if you can tell your younger self to just do it. Just do it. Because if you don't do it, you never get to know whether you're learning or not.
Nice one.
But the more you do it,
Yeah.
the better you become at it. Because from what you do, you'll get feedback.
Awesome.
And the feedback is good.
Yeah.
Let's not fear feedback.
Nice.
Like go back and ask, yes, we did this project.
Yeah.
We did this event with you.
Yeah.
How was it? Where do you think I can improve? One of the things it does, it safeguards my position the next time. Because I asked where do you think I can improve?
Yeah.
If you are thinking of changing the supplier, you'd tell me what was wrong. Then I'll fix it. But if you don't ask for feedback and you don't, then you realize
you'll be replaced.
You'll be replaced, and then you never know why you are replaced.
Yeah.
Then you repeat the same thing somewhere
else,
and you realize you've stagnated.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
if you check for feedback, feedback is good.
Yeah.
But also where is this feedback coming from?
Yeah.
Is it coming from a genuine place, or is it just because someone is pissed off? Or yeah.
Okay. To someone who's getting into sound right now, will you tell them the same thing?
I'll tell them the same thing, and the earliest I'll tell them, the second best thing I'll tell them is find a mentor. You cannot walk alone. The same way we do sound and screens and visual and events for people to see. If people are not there to see, then why are we doing it? Yes. So get someone to walk with, to guide you. And here is something that no one is ever self-taught. And that one I'll tell you.
Yeah.
No one is self-taught. If I ask you, so where did you learn this, and you tell me that you are self-taught and all that,
it's not true.
you are a liar.
He learned it from
You know
someone.
why?
Yeah.
Because you saw it somewhere. Even if it was on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, wherever, acknowledge that this one I learned from. It doesn't make you less of an engineer. It actually makes you a very smart engineer. You know why? You know what you know plus what the other person knows. Acknowledge. And the more you learn to acknowledge, the easier information comes your way. Yeah. So learn. I learn from people above me. I learn from people at my level. I learn from people below
younger
me.
than you.
And
Nice
people who are below me, I learn from them because they make mistakes. And to them, it's mistakes. To me, I see the potential. Oh, if I reroute that mistake like this, then it can be
correct.
It can be something different. Then I'm like, I learned it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
I told you guys in the beginning that this will be a good episode. I've just remembered we have a gift for you.
Oh wow!
We have a gift for you.
Thank you.
Please let my bag.
That's a surprise.
A good
Totally
surprise.
unexpected.
You're the one who taught me how to wear this.
Oh
this
yeah.
hats.
Oh wow. Wow.
So,
Wow.
you
Eish. And today, I'm in the same. This is amazing.
Yeah, this is the first.
Thank
You're
you.
the first guest to receive a gift from us.
Hey, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Karibu. I hope it
I
fits
will
you.
rock it. Yes, this fits me. Yes, thank you very much.
Karibu
Appreciate
sana.
it.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for the amazing information you have given us.
Karibu
And I'm
sana.
sure if we had continued, we'll have continued to more and more.
Yes,
and more things.
yes.
I think
yes.
we will in the next seasons we will invite you and tell us the new things that you're learning and
Yeah, definitely.
new things that you have. Yeah.
Definitely. I've enjoyed myself.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Karibu
Alright.
sana. That has been our time. This is Hedgehog Unplugged Podcast. We are at Hedgehog Creative on the lower ground floor of Sarit. Karibu for all your musical needs, even for classes. And subscribe. See you on the next episode.